Hello everybody, Jason of New Age Revolution Cave with an itchy back. Got it. Hello. Happy Wednesday to y'all. I believe that Liam and I have the norovirus. I could be completely wrong. I could be really over magnifying our illness, but we may be coming out of it. Today's the first day without an increase in stomach pain. He had some this morning, but I also think that was school-based. I don't think he wanted to do any school, and I think he enjoys just being sick and doing nothing, but we'll see. If I don't get a stomach ache tonight, I'll hopefully feel like we're coming through it. I'm going to go with the norovirus. That's what I think. I think he had it for a few days before me. Then I got it from him. Really, it's just been stomach cramps and some bathroom adventures. No vomiting, but we'll see. Run down, tired, no appetite. There you go. Maybe. Who knows? Or we're both dying. I'm not sure. If you are familiar with the channel, you remember a show called Wrestling with the Past. In fact, it was a favorite of a lot of yours. Many of you enjoyed it the most. Wrestling with the Past, where we went back and watched, or I watched, footage, WWF footage from 1985. Prior, we did 84, because I have a massive tape collection. We'll call it tape collection. It's all on DVD, but back in the day, that's what it was called, tape trading. For the new folks of the channel, I have a massive collection of WWF footage from 1970 whatever all the way up to 1994. Complete runs of TV shows, wrestling, Superstars, Championship Wrestling, All-Star Wrestling, TNT, Primetime, all the house shows that I would say probably 90% of the house shows that were actually aired and circulated amongst traders years ago. If a show was out and you were in the tape trading community, you would get it. So I got out of it a long time ago. I don't know if any house shows surfaced since I've been gone. I assume maybe a few. So Boston Garden and Madison Square Garden and the Spectrum and the Cap Center and a few from the LA Sports Arena and so on. And what we do is I will, part of my nightly routine, I will watch some wrestling, and then I will come on here and I will talk about the matches and the angles and the fun stuff, and I will give my expert comedic commentary on the happenings of the World Wrestling Federation. But I got to tell you, I got a little burnt out on it because when I was watching the shows for the purpose of a Wrestling with the Past episode, I would take photos on my phone of some moments in each match, of the introductions, of the winner, whatever. And then I would pause the match and write about it. Brutus Beefcake beats Salvatore Bellomo, Beefcake, blah, 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 Johnny V, blah. And I would write a little bit for it. And then I found that it was just like, I wasn't even retaining what I was watching. I wasn't getting the full pleasure of what I was watching. And that took away from it. So when I stopped the channel, I pretty much watched all of June. Wherever I stopped, if I stopped in May or if I stopped in April of 85, I watched all of that. And I just ended June 85 last night. So I'm about to go into July 85. And I got more out of it because I was just watching. I was watching it uninterrupted. I wasn't having to write about anything or take photos. But I miss talking about it with everybody. And I know it's a favorite show that I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch you up with what's been going on out of memory. I haven't written anything down. I didn't know what kind of show I was going to do tonight, so I just decided to do this. So I'll catch you up with what's been happening since we last did Wrestling with the Past. And then going forward, I think I will I don't know if I'll do like monthly updates or if I'll go back to the regular style of talking about each episode, but definitely less photos. You know, how important were the photos to you anyway? A lot of times they were just blurry. I'd try to take a picture of a back body drop and, you know, I'd get half of it, or it was blurry because the quality of the footage isn't, the footage is often taped off TV in 1985, so it's not like the best footage ever. And I don't really think the photos added anything, but I will take photos of each wrestler as they're introduced and then talk about the match. But we'll see how it goes. And if I don't like it, if it takes away from me watching it, then I'll leave Wrestling with the Past out and maybe just do a monthly update. As I complete July 1985, I'll just tell you what happened in July 1985. So to keep you to bring you up to date out of memory, and these will be all over the place. The first thing that I can think of is Andre has not been around. So April, May, June, Andre is probably doing his Japan thing, or I don't know at this point if he was exclusively signed to McMahon, but Andre would just go and do his own thing and be this attraction all over the place. So I think around this time he's in Japan. He's not involved in anything. Orndorff's a full-on good guy. And in fact, he has teamed with Hogan a few times on a few house show main events. And that's fun to see. There is the $15,000 or $25,000 bounty on Orndorff's head, placed by Bobby Heenan. They mention it a lot, but there's never like an official attempt at collecting the bounty type thing. It's always just mentioned. I think they could have done more with it. Bobby Heenan is managing the Missing Link, who is really interesting. And he was one of the first wrestlers that I was scared of. He does nothing but headbutts. He grabs the back of his head and rams his head into you. And the match is kicks and headbutts. And in fact, all through June 85, he keeps busting himself open. So it's, you know, one of those situations where he's got some scar tissue or whatever. And, you know, Ric Flair can smack himself in the head and start bleeding, literally. And so I think it was something like that where even the lightest brush would get him bleeding again. And the announcers would love that. And I loved it. I thought it was a great visual because he's using his head and then he starts making himself bleed, which I thought was cool. What else? No competitive matches for the Missing Link, but he does sell, which is interesting because you know, when he's fighting Tony Garea at a house show, so it's going to be a little bit of a longer match, so lots of headbutts. Garea will hit him with a drop kick or some punches, and he'll sell. He's not like the monster that doesn't react. So he's selling punches. You can knock him down. Garea knocks him out of the ring. Pretty good. I like it. What else? Tag team champions are still Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. They have not yet given up the titles to Wyndham and Rotundo again. Valentine and Beefcake are a full-on tag team. The British Bulldogs are a full-on tag team. We're seeing a little bit less of the British Bulldogs in June 86. They're not on TV as much. Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart are not the Hart Foundation yet, but they are a tag team. And they're slowly starting to dress the same, but they're not yet acknowledged as the Hart Foundation. Piper went away in June to have a baby. So we had some guests. Bobby Heenan was guest hosting Piper's Pit, and you'd be surprised. He did an awful job. It wasn't great. And Bobby Heenan is a genius and probably one of, if not the best character in wrestling history. He didn't do well as a guest host of Piper's Pit. Wasn't that great? But Piper was having a baby. And I think it was his daughter, who's she's a wrestler now. I think she wrestles Independence or Ring of Honor or something. I don't think it was his son, who's a MMA fighter. but it was, I think, his daughter. And they say that Piper's on vacation. So a well-deserved vacation for Roddy Piper. But he got all of June off, which I think was pretty awesome, that he got, as one of the biggest stars in wrestling, pretty much, I assume, just said, I'm taking off. And to get it, as you're the host of Piper's Pit, you're in the middle of this thing with Orndorff. You're always in the thing with Hogan. And you get off for like 3 weeks is awesome. I'm glad that he got that. Jimmy Snuka is still mentioned and may still be appearing at some house shows, but I have not seen him on TV at all. Adrian Adonis is hanging out. Dick Murdoch is gone. Rocky Johnson is in and out. Tony Atlas is in and out. Hillbilly Jim is still injured. And I didn't realize how long Hillbilly Jim was out. But he was out a very long time. And he got injured like 6 months or less into his WWF debut. And he's still out. They will occasionally bring up his name. They'll occasionally give him an interview, but he is still out. That is Fortnite action right there. The kids got new headphones tonight, and they are just screaming their little faces off. Later on, with a power hour, we're going to talk about the addictive qualities of social media and video games. It was a question that somebody asked, and we're going to get into it because I'm not going to admit it too loud, but I'm having a few regrets about allowing Fortnite into the house and the cell phone. I thought I was being cool dad. I am cool dad, but I'm seeing it. It's a problem. It's a problem. But anyway, back to Wrestling with the Past. What else is going on? Oh, I have seen some LJNs in the crowd. So that will help us determine when these things came out. I saw LJNs in the crowd as early as April of 1985. April, May 1985, LJNs are in the crowd. They are in the, it's always Hogan. It's always Hogan. I assume they were sold at the house show. I assume. But LJNs are showing up in the crowd. We have no commercial yet. LJNs are not on the table at TNT yet. But they are making their little appearances in the crowd, which is awesome. Who's new? Who's coming in? George Amel-Steele is good guy. Who cares? Missing Link is new. Oh, Lanny Poffo is here. Lanny Poffo is here, as well as his lesser-known brother, Randy Savage. Now, not officially. So to me, it's official when you show up on the nationally syndicated Saturday Morning Championship Wrestling show. That's coming in July. So the manager thing has not happened. Elizabeth hasn't happened. Randy Savage actually debuted in June at some house shows. I've seen him take on George Wells in an awful match. He is Randy Macho Man Savage. He has the robe, but not quite the sequined fancy robe yet. He still does the Savage mannerisms. It's still the elbow off the top. But he has not debuted on national television yet. He has only been at the house shows. Twice I have seen him. No competitive matches. Usually first, second, third match on the card, and he's taken on, you know, the George Wellses, the Tony Gurrias, guys like that. Bobby Heenan has subbed for Ken Patera, who is in jail. And, in fact, had an awful match with David Sammartino at a house show. And I can never understand Heenan as a wrestler. Heenan as a manager is cowardly. He runs away from the good guy. He bumps like crazy. But as a wrestler, he can beat you up for half the match. I don't get it. The match with David Sammartino at Boston or something, Philly, was awful because it was one of those matches where Heenan has a foreign object in his trunks the whole match, pulls it out, sticks Sammartino, puts it back in the trunks. The referee's checking all around. Where is it? Where is it? Heenan's in the corner with his hands up. It's tucked under here. And they did that the whole match, like George Steele does. And the referee's confused and doesn't know where it is. I hate it. It was such a boring, long match. Who else is coming in? Savage, Poffo. Look up at the LJNs. Haven't seen a lot of Bundy. Kirshner is not yet. Terry Funk. Terry Funk is in the WWF. Terry Funk debuted by beating the heck out of Mel Phillips, the occasional Boston ring announcer. Is he Boston? I think so. Occasional Boston ring announcer. And when he's not ring announcing or playing with people's feet, he's taking the gear back to the dressing room, and Terry Funk beats the heck out of him. Famous thing on TV. Terry Funk is here. Don Morocco is getting into it with Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat has not transitioned into the Dragon, but did transition into all black tights with the black. They're not even boots. It's like a one piece. So he's becoming the Ricky Steamboat that we know. Prior to that, he was wearing trunks and was not developing into the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat character. But he is starting something with Don Morocco. It started at a house show where the match never even got started. He was attacked by Fuji and Morocco. They threw salt in his eyes really bad. Ricky Steamboat does the best sell job ever. The match only lasted like a minute and a half. It was a no contest. Steamboat selling the salt flips over the barrier and is right in the crowd. And he's selling the salt in the eyes. And I swear to you, a woman was going into her purse to get Kleenex out to try to help Ricky Steamboat, but the security was pushing her away. She was desperately trying to help him by going through her big woman bag and trying to get Kleenex. Because of course there's Kleenex in there. Of course there is. And she's actually trying to help Ricky Steamboat. I loved it. Laughed so much. Hogan had a great 2-match series with Don Morocco. 2 or 3. I think it was 3. He had a great three-match run with Don Morocco, ending in a cage match, which was fantastic. Making me love Morocco even more. That's it. That's about it. Nobody else has showed up yet. Yeah, nobody else has showed up yet. Yeah, so there's your update. Now, I'm going to watch July 85. I think it starts with a TNT. And I'll decide how I want to do it. I don't know. But I do like doing Wrestling with the Past with you. But that is the update. That is the happenings of the WWF. April, May, June, 1985. I'll pick back up with July. And then we'll figure out how I present it to you on some format of Wrestling with the Past. That is all. Good night now.